This is Josiah Plays Sunless Skies. This is, again, merely a very early access version of the game. Extremely incomplete. Just getting some first impressions of what the game is going to be like, but a lot of features are not yet available, as well as a lot of content. Let me ask about the hours trade. Tangles of time.
Oh, ours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed locomotives along the Isambard line, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital.
Okay, hold on. How would you use extra hours of life to resolve overcrowding in prisons? I mean, these hours aren't making people older, they're presumably making them younger. So I don't know how that would help with overcrowding in prisons. That's the part I'm curious about. I want to know more.
Her Majesty seized a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of ours, and now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground.
She looks momentarily wistful.
I hope some day to retire with a modest pension of years, myself, to prolong the better part of my retirement.
Work demon worlds. That's right, Nox. They converted into space. Oh. Time-space continuum and all that. Okay, Cider, that seems reasonable. Locomotives go past her toward them. Nox gains 66 terror. Let's discuss the Reach. Discuss Suns. Ask for news of London. That's what we didn't ask before. The seat of the Empire lies in far-off Albion, where a man-made sun burns in the sky. Another sun blazed there once, before her enduring majesty conquered it. Homesickness.
London sits in her coat of smog. Courtiers squabble at the foot of the throne of ours, hoping to receive endowments of years. Meanwhile, hard-working civil servants labor to ensure everything runs as it should.
Is there a touch of archness there?
All is normal. I miss her, though. There is no city like London in all the skies, and Albion is very different to the Reach, much more civilized.
I see. Alright, let's ask about the war again. I feel no loyalty to either side. Let's inquire about her work. That's the other one we haven't done. What are the duties of an agent of the Horological Office? A higher calling. She sniffs.
It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen to that.
So they're actually breaking time itself by fucking with it. Ask about the hours trade. I think I've asked her everything at this point. Yeah, I've asked her all the questions now. Bid her a good evening. You've work to do.
And to you, Captain. I think I shall make a cup of tea.
So no more coggy conversations. Now let's see if I can have a convo with my chief engineer. No, the answer is no, I still can't. That must not be implemented yet. So... Oh, my map is fixed. Oh, wow. The Reach is just one region in the game. I thought the Reach was the whole game. Holy shit. There's also the Blue Kingdom, Eleutheria, and Albion, where London itself is. Oh, that's rad. Okay. Maybe that... Look at how these are like spheres. Maybe that's why there's like air and wind and growing trees and stuff in here. Because maybe these are literal spheres which are containing air within them. That are floating in space. I don't know. I just don't know. Well, I need to go to the northeast for one of my missions. I don't... Can I go under this? Yeah, I can. Now, how do I save the game? Like, if I could return to title screen, discard any progress you've made since last visiting Dock. Perhaps not. Empire is said to have a sphere of influence. Found Young's found. I noticed my starting ship moves a hell of a lot faster than the starting ship in Sunless Seas. There's a fair number of steampunk universes which treat space as breathable, like the RPG Space 1889. Young's found equals Young Frost found. Do I need to camp out at their dock and over and get free stuff from the squatters? That was amazing. A crewman's observation. Your navigator sidles up to you. You been keeping up with the dailies, Captain? He unfurls a yellowing newspaper. Your passenger from New Winchester has her face splashed across the front page, beneath an impressive and improbable list of charges. The Ministry of Public Decency is offering a hefty reward. Ponder this. A criminal, eh? No need for rash action. Your passenger is a wanted fugitive. She does not know that you know. A quick change of course back to New Winchester is entirely possible. A swift extradition for her, a well-deserved reward for you. Or you can continue on to her destination. Who knows? She may have reformed. You may be sympathetic. If she's on the run, she may be willing to pay handsomely for her transportation. Interesting. I don't know if that ship is friendly or not. Are you friendly or not? Are you friendly? Well, it's not shooting me, so I guess it's friendly. I guess I'll come out here and then I'll like... It's really hard to fucking steer this thing, by the way. And then I'll send out my bat. Which costs supplies, so I need to be careful about that. It admits spotting something of interest. Alright, so there's something up there. Let's go. Your bridge windows fog with recent steam trails. This place is well frequented. It's 1905. A stopped clock. The fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley.
Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock had stopped. Perhaps you'd permit me to repair it?
She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. I'll permit it. You prefer things to be right more than twice a day. An opportunity for conversation. She gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back off the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obtuse horological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place.
I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament.
Attempting to fix your locomotive's clock. Alright, well, we can have the same conversation with her as before, but now I can compliment her skills. Her hands are deft and sure. She polishes, she cleans, she reassembles. Well, thank you, she says, a small, embarrassed silence. It's possible the inspector is pleased. It's rather hard to tell. It doesn't look like I can really ask her about anything different, though. I guess that's all. An island here. Fucking steering this thing is no joke. Unless you just go really slow and make tiny little accelerations at a time. Oh. There's the dock. Magdalenes. Is this like... Oh, this place looks cool. Alright. We found a place. But what is it? Why didn't my terror reset? It's like a space casino. Or a space brothel. Alright, let's check out Beatrice's beatifications. An elderly attendant with a gleam in her eye manages the upkeep of Magdalenes. Hers is a continual battle against the encroachment of the Reach. Though by unseasoned hours... Now, if I was playing this seriously, like when the game actually comes out and I play it, I'm gonna actually write down, every time I go to a port and they're buying stuff, I'm gonna write down the prices so that I can actually figure out how to do trading good. But since I'm just testing this game out and it's incomplete, I'm not going to do that right now. They don't sell anything apparently right now. The Needful Emporium. A perfumed glasshouse near the station offers travelers all they might need on departure from the House of Small Comfort. Or a space spa. They give spatials. I see what you did there. Probably didn't reset because it's not a major port, I guess. I can buy fuel and supplies for the same price as I could buy them in, what's the name of the big town? Winchester or something? Okay. House of Small Comfort. Magdalenes is the closest thing many skyfarers have to a home. It offers services to alleviate the strain of spending a life spent too close to the stars. Magdalenes is one of the few places that will allow you to improve your condition should it worsen. Oh, nice. New Winchester, that's what it is, isn't it, Knox? Magdalene's House of Small Comfort. The glass spires of Magdalenes pierce the clouds like swords. Ooh, I like this place. The glass spires of Magdalenes pierce the clouds like swords. The stained glass clock tower presides over the cluster of buildings as a mother superior would over her wayward charges. Shadowed figures can be seen moving through the gleaming corridors, their identities obscured by the hued glass. I love stained glass. I do. What's the name of that one cathedral? I can't remember the name of it now. It was the best. It's in London. No, it's not in London. It's in Paris. Not Notre Dame, although that place is cool too. There's another cathedral not far away from there. In fact, I think it's on the same island. Because Because Notre Dame is on an island in the middle of the Seine River. And I think this other cathedral that I'm thinking of is on the same island. And I can't remember the name of it, but it has amazing stained glass. Amazing stained glass. Okay. As a Mother Superior would over her wayward charges. Shadowed figures can be seen moving through the gleaming corridors, their identities obscured by the hued glass. Crowds of skyfarers, ministry officials, and merchants mill about the forecourt, in varying degrees of distress. All watch the clock, waiting for their appointed hour. Why do I get the feeling that this place is like the brothel of slaving intellectual lusts in Planescape Torment? Like a brothel, but where they don't have sex, they just, like, talk to you. That's the coolest place I've ever found in any RPG. And it has my favorite character, who runs the place. Apparently she doesn't care that much about her job, because she just leaves to come off on an adventure with you, so... But that's kind of the sense I'm getting from this place so far. Let's see, I can speak with an attendant. I can collect a port report. I can request an appointment. I can have an opportunity with the amenable host. Or I can recruit an officer. Someone is loitering sheepishly by your locomotive. And get a placeholder quartermaster. That guy does not sound very good. 3 veils, 1 mirrors, and affiliation boheme by 1. Well, I don't have a quartermaster, so might as well grab this one. Hello! He waves cheerily as he scrambles aboard. I now have a quartermaster. Dude, placeholder quartermaster doesn't even have a face. So he is literally the placeholder quartermaster. But what's my affiliation boheme all about? Your associates among artists, authors, poets, and dreamers. Oh, I like that. Hello, I'm just filling in. Nice. I'm getting them stats boosted, though. That's what matters here. Alright, let's grab the port report. Magdalenes is a popular destination. Someone will no doubt be interested to know how things are here, and who has been seen here. Who's talking right now? This is in quotes, but it doesn't say who's doing the talking.
Magdalenes is abuzz with activity. Barely has the clock chimed, then a clamour goes up at the front desk. Guests rushing to and from appointments.
Wait, this is the report that's in quotes. So this is my writing of what's going on at Magdalenes, right? So this should be in whatever my character's voice is. I don't know what my character's voice is.
Magdalenes is abuzz with activity. Barely has the clock chimed, then a clamour goes up at the front desk. Guests rushing to and from appointments. Lord, you know, was seen in conversation with the amenable host. The east wing was closed for general access all day. A certain distinguished admiral was seen with his second-in-command entering one of the chambers of regret. Several guests succumbed to an excess of sentimentality and were forcibly removed.
I have a port report from Magdalenes. Alright. Let's speak with an attendant. Staff at Magdalenes promised treatments for the deleterious effects of the high wilderness. Loneliness, desperation, folly, regret, love. See, I would go to this place. An attendant waits in the foyer to schedule appointments for guests. A great binder sits in front of her, and the wall before her is covered in ticking clocks. The furnishings are plush, paintings hung on the walls display abstract skyscapes. They could come from almost anywhere in the wilderness. The attendant is eager to explain the procedures offered at Magdalenes and the rules that govern the refuge. This is a hospital for the spirit. The staff of physic and mimic both. Here you may say farewell to a doomed comrade, resurrect an old love, spar with a defeated enemy once more, all for a fair price, and so long as you do not indulge. Our services are for healing, not to provide another crutch. So these are like some scions or something. There's some kind of like mental illusions that they're weaving. Or are they, it says they're mimics, are they literally transforming into whoever the person is that you're missing? Oh, that's interesting. That's a cool concept. If that's what it is. Imagine a place where you could go and the people there could transform perfectly into somebody that you used to know, and you could have like a conversation with them or whatever. But they'd have to be able to like read your mind or something so that they could read your memories of that person perfectly so that they could portray the part, I guess. Well, maybe we'll find out more. The inimitable host strides past, ignoring the crowd of admirers that follows him through the hallways. Let's observe some guests going in for treatment. Some smile, others weep. One lady has a terrible gleam in her eye, another a recording device. An attendant shakes her head as a merchant in a threadbare suit waves at her. She walks away, face set in a slight frown. The trader flushes, aware he has breached the social covenant of Magdalenes. The inimitable host is still striding. Observe some more. Oh, observing tells us something different this time. A skyfarer clutches a basket of chocolates to him. I hope it's all right. They don't normally allow this sort of thing, but he is my own father. He coughs, mindful of the inimitable host's pointed stare. In a fashion. A mourner wanders past, clad in outdated black silk. She is recreating her husband's funeral today. She is smiling. A trio of guests is going in together, all dark-haired and straight-backed.
Yes, I know it's not the real thing, but I'd like a sense of closure,
the tall woman says. What rot! Barks the short woman next to her. You want to argue over the will again? I told you once I'm not giving up the spoons based on a charlatan's say-so. Do be quiet, please, the one man says. I, for one, am more than happy to hear again why I was lumbered with the third best wardrobe. A waltz can be heard from the upper floors. Someone has requested the recreation of the Sapphire Jubilee. Oh, now I can talk to patients being discharged. They exit the treatment chambers, fresh from their encounters with attendants in the guise of their most personal memories. Some leave smiling, others weeping. No one can resist looking back behind them, even for just a peek. Scream of a boiling kettle. The attendants are on break. Oh, I can observe more guests going in for treatment. Two aristocratic young ladies exchange gossip in the queue before the treatment chambers.
And whom do you have him play? Father's butler, of course. Back on our estate in Bugsby's. Yes, I recall. For myself, mother's lawyer, though I can always see the attendant's beauty mark under the makeup. Beauty mark? He doesn't have a beauty mark.
There is a long silence. So is it makeup? Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe they're shapeshifters. Maybe it's Maybelline. Alright, we got more trios of patients. Quiet weeping can be heard echoing through the glass corridors. Crewman returns to your locomotive. Their eyes are red, but they can't seem to stop smiling. Alright. Let's try requesting an appointment. Perhaps you're curious. Perhaps you're hurting. Perhaps it's Maybelline. The Chambers of Solace. The treatment rooms lie in the heart of Magdalenes. Shadows move through the walls, occluded by the brilliance of the stained glass. The sound of soft sobbing echoes through the hollow chambers. Occasionally, it is interrupted by bursts of sudden laughter. An attendant sits guard before the doors. A pile of empty journals are on his desk. I'm here to help. If you wish to undertake a treatment, we may discuss payment. News stories are preferable to sovereigns always. I could request a treatment for loneliness, which I can't do because I don't have an uncanny specimen and a savage secret. Guilt, I need a salon-stewed gossip and a vision of the heavens. Personal failing, I've got a savage secret and a salon-stewed gossip and a treatment for ennui or ennui. Uncanny specimen and a vision of the heavens. Okay, so I can't get any treatments. Guess I don't need them at this point. An elderly grand dame is haranguing an attendant.
Yes, but where is my husband? That gentleman was most assuredly not he.
Hushed murmuring follows, interrupted by a loud cry.
No, I did not misunderstand the rules. He's joined your staff.
What? Alright. Shall we check out the opportunity? The amenable host would like a quiet word. The founder and master of ceremonies at Magdalenes. He has requested you by name. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridors. The host's red door is always open. The attendant leaves you just as the clock begins to chime. I love these big full-sized arts for the characters. The amenable host's atrium. The amenable host is reclining on a couch of crushed velvet, a goblet of sparkling wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock ticks away. His atrium is always open to guests. He regularly indulges all manner of complaints, friendly criticism, and suggestions. Today he has a headache. Beckons you close. His voice is soft and sibilant, like butter melting in mellow candlelight. It seems that there is a guest who has gotten rather too attached to a particular attendant. Always the request that the same attendant appear in the same guise. The amenable host's lip curls in distaste. He reiterates the aim of Magdalenes. A place of healing, a place of sanctuary, a place of respite. It was never intended to feed a broken heart. That is an unhealthy state in which to linger. This guest brings sickness. I would have him purged. I have a dossier on our guest, if you're interested in helping. Why would he ask me? I'm just some rando. Unwelcome truth. The amenable host would like to talk to you about a difficult guest. The amenable host's atrium. Today he has a headache. Take the lachrymose guest's dossier. The amenable host has requested help in removing a customer who is blurring the boundaries of healer and patient. The amenable host's smile washes across his face like a wave destroying a sandcastle competition. I'm so glad you can help us. He produces a thin sliver of pages and passes them to you. I'd recommend taking on the role of one of our attendants, and in so doing, playing the role of someone significant to him. The amenable host sighs, reaching for his goblet. He knows all of our attendants by voice now. Someone new is needed. The amenable host would like you to remove a difficult guest from Magdalenes. Alright. Deal with the lachrymose guest. Do I have, like... I don't seem to have this dossier as, like, a thing I can actually read. He stands on the threshold of the treatment chambers, his hands trembling. The attendants on duty have been briefed as to your involvement. Wait. How do you plan to deal with him? A treatment chamber has been emptied for you, should you wish to adopt a guise from his past. Alternately, he has stood right there. He does not seem to have noticed you, his eyes boring through the doors of the treatment rooms. Well, what are my stats? Where are my stats at? Can't see them. Can't remember what I'm best at. I can approach this directly. Disguises have caused the poor sod enough trouble. I can disguise myself as his mother. You drove them apart once. An attendant will help you with the wig and makeup, another with the voice. Okay, so they're not shape-shifting. They're just acting. That's much less cool. Disguise yourself as his lover. The attendant normally on duty is more than happy to assist you. Anything, as long as it gets rid of him. Okay. Well, I don't know about all this. Can't back out of it in any way. I feel like directly sounds like the way to go. I don't see these things ending well. The lachrymose guest's eyes widen as you approach. Has there been a problem? You invite him to sit. Stiff brandies are ordered. You recount your own share of heartbreaks and tragedies, how you found yourself there, and you make clear that despite all that, you will be leaving. He nods slowly, and after a quick shake of your hand, walks away toward the station. He does not look back. See, that was easy enough. Sometimes you just gotta be honest with it, dude. Bro, you gotta kick rocks. You're no longer welcome here. Bye. Okay. Return to the amenable host. You are welcome in his sight. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridors. The host's red door is always open. The attendant leaves you just as the clock begins to chime. He has a headache. Let the amenable host know the lachrymose guest is gone. For better or worse, he will not be returning to Magdalenes. The amenable host smiles beatifically. Of course, my staff will be pleased. It is a risk of our trade when our clients can no longer separate identity and illusion. He breathes out, his sigh echoing around the atrium like a loosed bird. It is a trap any of us could fall into. Here, take this. He fishes around beneath his couch for one of his goblets. It'll fetch a pretty price. Take it with my thanks. Do visit us again. I've done him a significant favor. And I've gained 10 sovereigns. That's not very fucking much sovereigns, honestly, bro. Learn to reward, but okay, I'll take it. What if I return to the amenable host again? Oh, he has another request? He seems melancholy today, his hand light on his cup, his eyes shadowed with grief.
I admired your discretion earlier. I've also taken the liberty of checking into your past, Captain.
He smiles.
All good. You have seen the dangers of our work upon those who purchase our services. Yet, we can suffer a similar blurring of the self.
He draws your attention to several paintings on the walls.
My regulars have, at various points in time, requested that I be a prospector captain on Lustrum, heir to a fine house in Fort Prosper, and a titan of industry on New Winchester. I have vivid memories of all three, yet all cannot be true, surely.
He presses a locket into your hand.
This bears my graven image. See if anyone remembers me. The true me.
Alright, so there is some kind of mind-reading, taking over the thoughts of the person kind of thing going on. I don't know. You with the bad house guest and he gives you a couch goblet. Look at, here's something I pulled out of my couch. Take it, peasant. The amenable host wishes you to recover his identity. Travel to any of Lustrum, New Winchester, and Fort Prosper to begin. Well, I don't know where those other places are. Say he has a headache. Okay. Request an appointment. No, I can't have an appointment. Serve some guests. Seen that one before. A tomb colonist is visiting a friend. Attendants draw lots to see who has to don the bandages this time. This place is weird. I wouldn't want to go to a place where somebody was just acting like somebody that I'd lost, like with makeup and shit. No, that wouldn't cut it. I wouldn't be interested in that. If they could completely transform into that person, I'd go for it. I'd definitely go there, but no, not if they just fucking, not if it's just Maybelline. Alright, I think we're done here for now. Assumed identity. Forgotten who he is. I have a lot of quests. I need to go to Hybris, Port Avon, Port Prosper. Well, I do know where Port Prosper is. It's northeast. It's a long way northeast, though. Josiah's dream is a brothel of anamorphs. Anamorph? What is an anamorph? Is it like an animaniac? Hold this down to 5 out of 10. Alright. Guess I'm ready to bounce. Too old to get it? Probably. Like, I don't know what they mean by a long way to the northeast. What do they mean by a long way? Do they mean like up here in the Blue Kingdom? I doubt it. Or just here in the Reach. See, I think we're in some kind of sphere. Send the bat out. Yeah, that definitely took a hit on my supplies. The bat is happy to have found nothing of interest. Well, fuck you, bat. What is all this now? I assume I can go under this. Or over it, or whatever. Sending the bat out seems like a bad idea, honestly, if you're gonna lose supplies every time. Anyone who got scholastic handouts as a kid will know instead of the stone tablets Josiah's generation got. Yeah, I honestly don't know anything about these scholastic handouts you refer to. The color just changed. Oh, I just crossed some sort of boundary into I don't know what. Hey, what's that? Your bat returns and sulks in its roost. You bribe it with beetles until it admits spotting something of interest. That's some kind of creature. Should I kill it? Back that aft up! Oh, I kicked its ass. Kicked its ass. A cantankerite placated. It is possibly dying. So that thing is a cantankerite. Its beady eyes dull. Smoke hisses from fractures in the shell, like hot springs on a volcanic tundra. There is a disastrous smell. I can listen to its last complaint. 100% chance of success. And gain experience. I can drill for the fleshy bits. 100% chance of success. And gain supplies. Oh. That's a tough call. I do like experience a lot, but I'm kind of hurting on supplies. Let's gain some supplies. No, this sounds more interesting. Let's listen to the cantankerite's last complaint. Songs are sung in station tea rooms about the dying laments of the ageless cantankerite. To hear it is, apparently, good luck. Experience. A lot? No, it's not a lot. When you get need 1,000 to level, 50 is a very small amount. That's 1/20th of a level. Antennae wiggle resentfully in the wind. Eyes glower from the cavernous shell. The cantankerite shudders in deep disappointment before emitting a mournful thing's almost like a space cow. Then silence. EXPs. Alright, my bat saw something of interest. So, okay, right up there. Maybe that's the place. Fort Campbell or whatever the place is that I'm looking for. Please don't crash into rocks. Not crash into rocks, how about that? I like this so far. So far I like this more than Sunless Sea. And this isn't even done. It feels less oppressive than Sunless Sea did. The bridge's clock chimes twice, quickly. This close to the Isambard line, time is devious. Oh, we've heard about the Isambard line before. This looks like a major settlement of some kind. Music kicked in. I see the dock. Port Prosper. Agbonon Spring. Hey, and I didn't crash this time. I made it. And... okay, so things I like about this. I like the UI better. It looks like the character system is more interesting because I just leveled up and I get to pick cool things when I level up, which you couldn't do before. Go all the way up to level 20. I like the way the stat checks worked in that one thing. It seemed like better. I like the big full screen art. And I like the fact that it looks like you use supplies and fuel a lot less quickly than you did before. Also, my terror's not resetting. I must have to go all the way. And also, terror seems to grow a lot less quickly as well. So kind of everything about it seems less oppressive than Sunless Sea did in the beginning. But anyway, what can I pick? An unlikely hall? Or the smoggy streets? I don't know what these mean. Oh. The smoggy streets. You spent much of your youth in the hard end of London, where the gas lamps are scarce, the prospects bleak, and the people are as flinty as the cobbles. How did you like it there? Or an unlikely haul. A week before your 13th birthday, when you would be driven from the urchin gang, you took part in a daring heist, which scored an unusual... Oh, these are background specific. You normally pick a background, right? But that's not... The background's already picked for my character in this, because they don't have character creation in this version. And my background is urchin. And both of these things relate to being an urchin, so there's probably different ones for every single background, because these are urchin specific. How cool. You took part in a daring heist which scored an unusual haul. Silent as cats, you burgled one of grand, gloomy mansions of old London. In a hidden attic, accessed by a stair concealed in the back of a rosewood wardrobe, you made your discovery of a forbidden laboratory. I like how the choices you make at level up for stats have a narrative element. So you're actually not just choosing a thing for stats, you're actually choosing your character's background. You're like, that'd be cool if there's one of these at every single one of these levels, fleshing out your background more. Oh, that'd be rad. In a hidden attic, you made your discovery of a forbidden laboratory. It was crammed with clattering machinery. A chipped workbench was streaked with ruddy stains. Something coiled miserably in the oily contents of a bell jar. With this, I get +5 veils and +3 hearts. And +1 condemned experiment. Process was unconscionable. Results are results. And +1 affiliation villainy. Associations among thieves, outcasts, and pirates. Or I could take a trove of disgraceful secrets. His lordship wouldn't want the contents of these letters to be revealed. In return for them, he'll pull some strings once. And this one I get veils and mirrors. A cryptic benefactor. A nod, a wink. They'll be there when you need them. I like this too. So not only are you picking something narrative about your character story, and you're picking stats, but you're also getting other things like social benefits based on what you pick. This is cool. Okay, hold on. That's one possibility. If I go back to the smoggy streets, how did I like it there? You were at home. The smog painted your lungs black. Your knuckles were scarred, but it was honest. There were diamonds in the dirt. And that gets me veils and iron. You despised it. You endured it as best you could, and then, the first opportunity you had, you left for more pleasant locales. Good riddance. And that gives me veils and hearts. I think I want to take... I think I'm more interested in this one, so I'm going to take veils and hearts. You despised it. Past the smoggy streets, you spent time in the bad part of town. Origin, urchin, so this origin probably gave me something. I could have picked my own. So who knows how interesting all of these are going to be as you level up. I think the possibilities are fascinating. Yeah, I'm actually docked, because if I wasn't docked, this list of options for Fort Prosper wouldn't have popped up right here. Oh, it's 1,000 each time. Look, it doesn't go up, so that's nice. The leveling up should be nice and consistent then. If you don't have to get more each time. Alright, cool. Well, here we are at Fort Prosper. Let's look at Nelson's Emporium. The adjoining shop to the famous cafe. The staff are renowned for their discretion, taste, and confidence in their complete superiority. You can buy some dried tea here. I wonder how much dried tea sold for at New Winchester. Probably more than this. I can sell crockery or Fulbright's Necessaries, the only shop permitted to sell supplies to Skyfarers in Fort Prosper. Fuel and supplies, same price as the other places. I should probably buy some supplies. Well, before we buy anything, let's see what we can do at the story place. Notice how these have little icons now? That I like this, that show what they are. The coin icons are for shops. The book is if it's a story location. Which is cool, so you know what you're clicking on. Queen's Cross Station. Art in this too. Crammed at the feet of a hulking crag, Port Prosper is a little London, divided into an affluent West End and an impecunious East. Queen's Cross is its busy station, the terminus of the Isambard line that begins in far-off London. Oh, can I take some sort of fast travel line thing from here to London? That'd be rad. I mean, I know I can't actually go to London in this early version because when you go over here, you can see that Albion, it's in Albion, and Albion is not available in this early access pre-alpha that we're working with here. Well, let's get rid of the fastidious inspector, I guess. I mean, I think we had all the conversation with her that we could have. So I like the way you can expand these, by the way, and it'll give you all the text so that you don't have to mouse over them and read little tooltips one at a time. What are my stats like now? Okay, so my Veils is really good. It's 28, 23, 21, 24. Alright, the two that I wanted to be my best ones are my best ones, so that's good. Veils and Hearts. And my worst one is Mirrors. So this is me in real life. These are like my real life stat distribution. I don't know whether I'm better at Hearts or Veils in real life, actually. I might be better at Hearts. Veils. Toss up. I know I'm terrible at Mirrors. And there was a time in my life when I was okay at Iron, but not now, I don't think. Alright. So, shall we get rid of the fastidious inspector? I guess so. She disembarks with her bag in hand and peers up at a clock tower that is being raised above the station. It is tangled with scaffolding and rings with the sound of hammers and the cries of workmen. I can accept my payment. I'll receive fuel and supplies. That's why I didn't buy any, because I thought I might get some for free. Make sure she finished repairing your clock first. Oh. Wonder if there's a way for me to tell if she's finished repairing my clock. Mornington... I'm without spam. Has she finished repairing my clock? None of these things say anything about my clock being repaired. Can't talk to my officers yet. You know what I was gonna say? I was gonna say, so far I really like this. I'm really intrigued by all of the possibilities of what it's gonna have later. I was gonna say, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this when it comes out, but I realized I don't have to get it. This is a full retail copy that they've given me for free. It's on Steam. So when the game comes out, I'll automatically have it. So that's super cool. I don't even have to buy it. Well, I guess she's done repairing my clock. I don't know. I think I'm gonna drop her off. Alright, let's just set my payment. Oh my god, that's so much fuel and supplies I just got, and so much money, and so much experience! Wow! I love this game. Satisfied customer.
Thank you, Captain. Here is the balance of our agreement, and, as promised, a requisition order for fuel and supplies.
She cast another glance at the incomplete clock tower.
Given the apparent state of construction, I'd recommend you visit the worksite. There may be an opportunity there. And thank you for the pleasant conversation, Captain. The sky can be a lonely place. You've enlivened it. I have included a small additional sum in your remuneration as a token of my gratitude.
I got extra money because I had a conversation with her and pleased her in the conversation. It's rad. Okay. The Albert clock. They will pay for a delivery of bronze wood and stained glass. You may be able to purchase bronze wood at Port Avon or Trader's Wood and glass at Titania or New Winchester. Okay. So I'm sitting on a pile of money. Now I've got a ton of fuel and supplies. And I'm making that XPs. A new clock tower. They plan to call it the Albert clock in memory of the departed Prince Consort. But there's a way to go yet. The roof isn't finished, and the clock neither ticks nor bongs. You can see the fastidious inspector up among the workings with a spanner and a can of oil, showing the workmen how it's done. Let's ask what they need. Perhaps you can secure it? Instructions.
Bronze wood, the foreman says bluntly. One consignment. They sell it at Port Avon and Trader's Wood, I hear. And a pane of stained glass, too. New Winchester's your best bet there. Or Titania, the flower town. We'll pay proper, like.
You can purchase the necessary goods and return them to Fort Prosper. You'll make a tidy profit. Be warned, the materials aren't cheap and they'll occupy space in your hold. Okay. Plus, I need to find those places first. I mean, New Winchester, I know where that is, but the other places I don't. Port Avon. I need to go there for another quest as well, but I haven't the slightest clue where it could be. I don't know where Titania is, but I could go to New Winchester. I get the feeling that it's going to be more expensive in New Winchester than this other place. So if I had a bronze wood and a pane of stained glass, PAID again. Alright, here I am at Fort Prosper, and there's all kinds of cool things to do here. And we're going to check all that out in our next episode. If you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere, because I'm not done playing. If you're watching on YouTube, this episode is now over. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Sunless Skies.